Let's do this. We are on King5.com here at the 89th Annual Seattle Sports Star of the Year Awards, and there's a lot to get to in the next 60 minutes. Chris Igin with us, as always, just doubling up on this thing, and now we have Husky legend Sonny Sixkiller here with us as well. Throughout the show, we're going to be bringing in some big names and faces that you will recognize if you follow Seattle sports for sure. Sonny, I want to start with just what's it like for you to be here tonight and join this event?
Well, I think it's great for the city. I mean, you bringing all the stars together, all the sports now. Think of all the sports we have now as opposed to 30 years ago. You know, the Storm, rain. You got everything going for us here. Sounders. So it's a very exciting time to be in Seattle for sports.
And Sonny, let's start with a team you know pretty well, the Huskies. You took over the starting job as the quarterback 1970.
Correct.
Pretty good little quarterback this year. Michael Penix is up for the Male Athlete of the Year. Just your thoughts on what you saw from Michael Penix and the Huskies this past year.
Well, I think Michael, in the last 2 years, has shown everybody that he's, number one, stayed healthy. He's got a tremendous arm. He's got a great attitude. He's a tremendous team player. The guys rallied around him. And I have to tell you, I met his grandmother. He's a chip-off grandma. He's a quality guy, man.
Yeah, you're talking about the family members. I know Chris got a chance to meet the Penix family as well. And that's all part of it, isn't it, Sonny? You have to have a great support system to be successful. It's not just all about you and your athletic ability.
No. He was well-grounded. And I think the history of the injuries and coming to Seattle, fresh start, different training regimen, different coaching, although he was familiar with DeBrusk and our group. But, you know, it's... his attitude was phenomenal attitude.
Tonight's awards, now you came from Ashland, Oregon to Seattle. I think it was Jim Owens recruited you back in the day.
Yeah.
You were up for an award here. Take me back. You were up for a few awards.
As I mentioned, you guys, Royal Broom was still alive when I was there.
We told you not to bring that up, man.
I lost my something here. But,
that's all right.
But anyway, I was looking the other day. Larry Owings was nominated, who defeated Dan Gable at Iowa State in the NC2A. Yoshi Hayasaki won the all-around in men's gymnastics. There was just all kinds of great athletes of the time, man.
And you were one of them. You were one of them.
The young lady, Doris Brown Heritage from Seattle Pacific, beat the 1,500 mark, and she won that year, which that must have set off Title IX.
I just love the fact that there's stars here and athletes from the past that represent different eras. You, of course, represent a great era, Sonny. And when you walk around this room, you kind of see some of the faces here tonight. It reminds you just how much the Seattle sports scene has grown.
It's unbelievable. I'm looking here at Sue Bird, and favorite basketball player ever.
And Megan Rapino up for the Humanitarian Award tonight, Sonny. It's going to be a big night. Yeah.
So just to be around him is a tremendous opportunity for us.
Yeah. Well, it is great to have you here, and I'm telling you, this guy doesn't look like he's aged at all. He steps in here. I feel like, you could still play, Sonny. I'm telling you, look at this guy. I mean, he looks great.
You can still throw the ball around.
I'm sure you can, man. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Great to see you.
Thanks, Sonny.
Thanks, guys.
Well done. Sonny Sixkiller, legendary Husky. And we'll be joined by others as well throughout the evening, Chris. And
we mentioned, Paul, Megan Rapino will be receiving the Humanitarian Award tonight, so a big honor for him. I mentioned Michael Penix, Paul, the Male Athlete of the Year this year. The nominees, Matty Beniers, J.P. Crawford, Steph Fry, Roma Dunze, Michael Penix. But how about this? Megan Rapino now joins us. There she is.
Sure, it's digital. We can just wing it.
And Megan, let's get right into it. Receiving the Humanitarian Award tonight, how big of an honor is this for you, and just your thoughts on tonight?
Oh, God. I mean, it's hard to put into words, obviously, even just the namesake of the award, Paul Allen, him and his family and all the work that they've done in this city. I've only been here 10 years, so it feels very special to be recognized in this way and hopefully give back to the city as much as it's given me. It's been, my home in so many ways, both literally and figuratively, and it'll always kind of be that way. And obviously, being with Sue, having her show me the ropes, she's been here a little bit longer than I am, and a little bit more successful, just barely. But,
barely, right? Barely.
Yeah, just like 4 or 5 times more. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. but no, it's a huge honor, and we're so happy to be able to be here tonight.
I think it's great. You mentioned 10 years, and I think it's hard to believe that it has been 10 years. Does life just blow by for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't believe it's been, even the end of the season just feels like it was yesterday. So to be able to be here this long, to spend this long with one club and be able to play here with Seattle Reign for so long. We just went back to the name change. Shout out to that. I'm very happy about that. Back to the Seattle Reign. It feels like home in so many ways. It feels like a place where I really grew up and became an adult, and I think I was 26 when I got here, but you don't know anything at 20. You think you know everything.
Yeah, that's right.
You literally know nothing.
That's
so
right.
To be able to grow up here and call it home is really special.
As we talk about the Reign, and I see you and Sue, and I look at you two, and I'm like, you two can still play.
Yeah.
How tough was the decision, to make that decision that this was going to be my final year in the retirement?
In the end, it wasn't that tough. It was time. My body was knocking.
Yeah.
Obviously, in my last game, it had a real big knock. But I think there's just some things we'll just always miss. Though it's always not sad, but you miss it. I'm going to go to the Reign opener. I'm going to be devastated that I'm not there. We're going to go to the Storm opener. I'm sure Sue's going to be devastated that she's not out there. I want to be in the know, too. I'm missing all the drama. I'm missing all the tea. So it's sad, but I feel like for both of us, we're such a huge part of both of those franchises and clubs, and we'll continue to be, and we're literally, the biggest fan, but there'll always be the little bit that we're sad not to be out there, of course.
Well, you say that you want to be in the know, but I have to ask you, there must be requests for you constantly to consult or be around teams and be around players. Do you want to be around the U.S. team and some of the other teams that might come calling? The sport itself. I know there's some friction, of course, but you've done so much to grow the sport as well, and the importance of it off the field.
Of course I want to be involved.
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm ready. No, I want to make sure I do it in the right way, and I want to make sure, first and foremost, whatever team or environment that I would be stepping into, that's good for the team and the environment. I know I'm a big personality. Of course, with the Reign, those are my homies and that's my family. But I feel that way about the national team as well. And I think when the time is right, I can't wait to go back to a game and, give everyone my thoughts, just like I always do. Whether they want them or not, they're going to get unsolicited thoughts coming at you. So.
Paul mentions the growth of the sport. I have a 21-year-old daughter, plays tennis at Portland State. She has your book in her room. She met Sue Bird 20 years ago, and Sue kind of gave her some wisdom. Not only the growth of your sport, but the growth of women's sports. How key has that been for you? I mean, I know you're receiving an award tonight. Part of that stems from that, but just I know you're not going to stop on growing sports for girls.
No, definitely not. I obviously have loved playing, and that's a huge passion of mine. But I think speaking to what you just said, I think that's like really my passion is just the business side and growing it, and getting people to look at us the way we look at us, and see all the value that's there. And it's been a huge joy to be able to marry what we, is sort of a talent that we were just born with. And of course it takes hard work, but marry that with our work off the field means everything. I feel like both of us are uniquely positioned, just having played the sport so long, being who we are in it, to be one of the architects of just an incredibly exciting future moving forward.
Well, we hope that you continue to give back, Megan, because you have so much to give to the sport, so much to give to women's sports as well. And I sure hope you continue to be out there and be seen and be heard.
Oh, absolutely. You know me. I can't stay out of the limelight too long.
You guys, let me ask you this. You brought up the little banter between you and Sue. Is there ever a little trash talking, a little fun talking back and forth with her over accomplishments and things like that?
It's not even fun. It's like we pull the rings and the medals out, and I'm like, I pull my couple of medals out, and she's like, pop, 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 pop. I think this is one of Sue's class rings. It might be like a championship ring or a Big Ten ring.
Is there one sport you're competing?
Not Big Ten. Oh my gosh, Big East. She's going to kill me for saying that. It's not Big Ten. Big East or something. It's just like, it's literally no competition. So like, I have fun with it because I'm like, I think I'm accomplished and I'm actually not. And you're the most important person in my family. So I just try to do my best to keep up with the banter.
Well, congrats on the award tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you for dropping by.
Appreciate your candor, too.
Yeah.
This has been great. Thank you, Megan.
Appreciate y'all.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Megan Rapino
So
getting the
much fun.
humanitarian award tonight, Paul. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the room was full. I just saw Nate McMillan moments ago, Paul. Good to see Nate back. We got Sue Bird in the house. Look at this.
Star-studded.
We'll let you hold the mic this time, Sue.
Paul, don't we feel? I feel like we just introduced her rookie year.
Man.
What was that like?
I look
We
back.
were kids back then.
I mean,
weren't we,
seriously,
Paul?
you look back at 20 years of Sue Bird, and you're just like, wow. I mean, you see the trophies upstairs in the Champions Gallery, and the 4 championships. I mean, first of all, Sue, you come here tonight, and Megan talked a lot about your relationship, which is just awesome. You guys sound like you have a lot of fun together. What's it like for you to be here tonight?
Oh, it's amazing. The minute that we found out that Megan was going to be winning an award, there was kind of like, schedules are busy. Can we make this work? It was like Seattle Sports Commission, like we're going, like without a doubt. And I think that just speaks to how we feel about the Seattle community, wanting to be able to continue to build our relationships here. Obviously, I'm very proud of Megan. Also really excited for the other awards. I'll be presenting tonight, so I'm in a new role. I'm in a very new role here. But like I said, the minute they told us when this was happening, we were like, we're going for sure.
Yeah, well,
And I think that's the thing we love about you, Sue, is we go back. We were joking. We remember your rookie year, but you always were so gracious with your time, coming over to King 5, Northwest Cable News, and talking about the storm and all that. But let's talk a little bit about Megan Rapino.
Sure.
Winning the humanitarian award. Just your thoughts on this. This is a great honor for her tonight.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Megan has had an unreal soccer career, right? Won all the things, Olympics, World Cup, you name it. The impact on the field, easy to see. It's the impact off the field that she has really done things that nobody else has done, no other athlete has done. So for her to get this award is fitting. Like I said, I'm super proud. Glad we could be here for it. And it'll be fun. I like being a +1. It's different, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, it is
I
fun.
like it.
Got to take some pressure off a little bit,
Yeah,
too,
a little
if you're
bit.
just a guest. But what's it like for you to walk around this room? It's filling up fast, and to see some of these famous names and faces.
Yeah, so we literally just got in the door, so you're our first stop. So I haven't been able to make the rounds yet, but already saw Kenny Mayne. I feel like this is a reunion. This event, this night, it's a reunion of sports, of Seattle sports, even seeing you guys, right? Like, obviously the coverage that you have given us through the years means so much. So it's always really wonderful to see familiar faces. I won't even bring up the gift cards. This is really why I would go do all these interviews.
You had some good dinners through the years.
Some amazing dinner. Shout out C-Star.
You want to announce that you'll be playing in the Paris Olympics? Is there any chance?
No.
Oh, man. I love that
Absolutely
you
not.
remember the gift cards, man.
Of
That's so
course.
awesome.
C-Star.
Of course.
What was your favorite item at C-Star, by the way?
Oh man, I've only been to the one in Bellevue. Fun
Okay.
fact. So, God, it was a while ago. I don't know.
Well,
The
listen.
fish.
Good answer. Good, broad answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Blitz wants to see you over there. He's all chomping at the bit, so we'll let you get out of here. Enjoy the evening, and thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
it's great to see you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Sue.
Sue Bird, always great to see Sue
One of
Bird.
the greats of all.
Man, you know what's there's so many great athletes in this town, Chris, but when they come to you with their personality, it just takes them to another level, and certainly Sue is at that level.
I mean, you look at Sue Bird and what she did, bringing WNBA championships to Seattle, Olympic gold medals. Obviously, she grew up in the New York area, but she was always there to say, Seattle is my second home. I love this place. And here she is tonight. She's, she does have a busy schedule. She's running around the world, and she's here tonight to show her support for Seattle. And obviously Megan Rapino tonight, who will be winning the humanitarian award. And Paul, we talk about legends.
We
go from one point guard to another, and this is one of our favorites of all time, Nate McMillan.
Nate
I
McMillan.
understand you went from a Hall of Famer to
We make Mac 10 hold the mic. Hey, listen, I know, first of all, it's great to see you, man. I mean, we followed your career. I remember talking to you when I first got to Seattle in 1993, sitting across the table from you at old Sonics headquarters. And I was in awe of you, Nate, because I had just come from Flint, Michigan. I'm sitting here talking to Nate McMillan. What a great, one of my first assignments. And you were so nice, man, because you could have just sit there with this rookie and said, this guy doesn't know what he's talking
And
about.
look at Nate, he's still going strong.
But you were so genuine, man. So, and that's one of the great things Chris and I were just talking about. You guys, some of these great athletes out there from Seattle and around the world, they're so great on the field. But when they're able to be genuine and authentic, that's a big thing, and we always appreciated that about you.
I really appreciate that, and that's important to me. I had a young lady to I was doing my foundation, and this young lady attended my foundation, and come to find out she was the wife of the president of my foundation. And she said she had met me on the plane. And she said she asked me for an autograph, and I said, how was I? She's like, you was just the nicest. I said, okay, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's important to me. You know, that's important to me, the character. And a lot of times, people judge your character about when you're not in the light.
Yeah.
You know, when they see you out on the streets. And for me, I had nothing but love for this entire community. I understood that you guys have a job to do, and you're supporting us, and try to make it easy as possible on both of us, and really butter you guys up so you don't kill us when we lose in the first round to the Nuggets.
Nate, when you look at, obviously the NBA is doing very well.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody recently say the NBA doesn't need Seattle, but the NBA would love to have Seattle again. And there's talk out there about expansion, and obviously you put your heart and soul into this city. Just your thoughts as we talk about maybe getting the Sonics back here in Seattle. And you've got the pulse of the NBA, you know it well. Just your thoughts on that.
I think the NBA does need Seattle. It was a good market when we had the team here, because of some financial situations and things that was going on with schools and roads and the monorail and all of that. We just could not, afford to build another arena at that time, which was, it sounded like, the thing that kept us from keeping the team here. But we have as much history and tradition as any team in the NBA. This is an absolute great market. In the 90s, when we were just talking about that, this was one of the best places for sports. I mean, you think about the Hall of Famers that was planned at that time. When you look at Gary, who became a Hall of Famer, you look at Rodriguez and Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar and all of those guys. I mean, Husky football was exciting. Sonics basketball was exciting. The Mariners was exciting. The Seahawks. It was just, we were going from one season to another, and we all were supporting each other and able to survive because our fan base was committed to all of us. So it is a good market for sports. It's certainly a good market for basketball, and I have my fingers crossed that the NBA will bring a franchise back to Seattle.
I love it.
I got to believe that's one of the worst kept secrets out there, is that the Sonics will come back to Seattle for sure. I want to ask you one last question before we let you go, but you've had a lot of success in the coaching race, Nate, and certainly as a player. Some players can't make that transition to coach, but you definitely did it with success. Are we through seeing you on the sidelines? Is that going to be it for you on the court?
It really, I don't know right now. The right situation has to come about. Right now what I've focused on this season is my foundation. I just started the Nate McMillan Foundation to mentor fatherless boys 10 to 18 and really give them a platform, try to empower these young kids to have hope. But they need people, they need programs to support them, and especially the fatherless young boys that are out here who are being raised by single mothers. My mother was single, had 6 kids, and if it wasn't for coaches and teachers and mentors, and I had an older brother and fathers in the community, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in. So for me, it's just to extend a hand back to the kids and to my community to give them some support and guidance and a role model so that they can transition from being a boy to a man.
And Nate, real quick, how do they get involved with that?
The NateMcMillanFoundation.org.
Okay.
You can go to that website, take a look at us. Right now, it's just in North Carolina. I'm going to eventually bring that out to Seattle. I've been out here a few times and talking with a number of different groups. Rise Above is one of the groups that I've been talking with. So go to NateMcMillanFoundation.org and take a look at us and give us some support.
Yeah, well, I mean, your authenticity comes right through, Nate. We appreciate it. It's no surprise that that's a road you're going down, and I'm sure that everybody appreciates it as well. So thank you very much for coming on, and man, it's great to see you. You look great.
Great to see you. You
All
look
right,
great.
Nate McMillan. Thanks a lot, man. Enjoy
Thank you,
the
Nate.
evening.
All right.
Okay, good seeing you.
Thank you, Nate.
All right. Man, oh man,
Nate McMillan, huh? How cool is this, Paul?
I tell you.
We're going down memory lane tonight,
I know,
Paul.
I had this 30-year flashback, Chris. I had to hold myself. Come on in, Matt.
How you doing?
Yep.
See you guys.
Good to see
Good
you,
to
Matt
see you.
Odette, coach of the T-Birds, and
And by the way, Paul, they are up for Sports Story of the Year.
one of the great
The
sports
T-Birds.
stories last year for sure. Let's go right there, Matt. What was that run like for you?
It was a lot of fun, really rewarding. After falling short in 2022, to work our way back and get it done in 2023, especially in front of our fans at home, was just a magical night.
And it was magical. I was at a couple of games. That place was rocking. How much fun was the support? Obviously, we hear about the support for the Kraken at Climate Pledge, but you guys were packing the house every night down there.
Yeah, our fans are great. Tremendous support out there in Kent. One of the rowdiest buildings in the WHL, and we're certainly rocking in the playoffs. And that Game 5 win was electric from start to finish. So yeah, just a great memory.
What's it been like for you having the Kraken in town for a few years? Has that helped bolster the interest in the sport?
Oh, I think so, for sure. Just more people interested in hockey and getting exposed to the game of hockey. More kids playing it. Just create more buzz for the great game, and it's been a lot of fun. Our players, having an NHL team in town to emulate, and having the ability to go to games and watch the NHL players play. It's been great for us.
A couple of the rising stars. Give us a couple of the names of some of the T-Birds we need to be keeping an eye on right now.
Well, we've been lucky to have a lot of great players that have been drafted to the NHL. Some of the guys this year, Niko Majadovic, a second-round pick to Anaheim, Jordan Gustafson, our captain, third-round pick to the Vegas Golden Knights. They've had injury-plagued seasons, but two guys to watch that should have very promising pro careers.
Oh, I tell you what, it's fun to watch, man. I'm a big hockey fan, and I love the fact that the NHL hasn't taken away from that fan base at ShoWare Center. It's only really fueled it.
Yeah, it has. And, we have a really young team this year. A bit of a tough season, but the fan support's been tremendous. Great crowds every night supporting us, and we're really grateful for that.
Shout out to those T-Birds fans out there, and the Silvertips fans as well. I think this Western Washington, the state of Washington, has really supported, minor league hockey, junior hockey, and I think that's a great thing. Obviously, you feel that as a coach.
Yeah, great rivalries. Obviously Everett's a big rivalry. Our fans travel to their games at home and vice versa, so it makes for a pretty electric atmosphere. Heated rivalry, good hockey games, but always a battle.
Yeah. Well, we know it's cyclical when you have junior hockey. These players come in only for a few years, and they keep rotating and rotating. It's a challenge for a head coach to keep winning. So, Matt, best of luck the rest of this season, and as you continue here with the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Thank you.
All right,
pleasure.
thanks a lot, Matt. Matt Odette and the T-Birds, of course, up for Sports Story of the Year. A tremendous run they had last year, and we'll just let him wander around, and I'm sure he's got to jump on a bunch of other shows as well. So, okay, thanks a lot, Matt. Good seeing you, man. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Hey, Colin, good to see you again, man.
You bet, of course.
All right.
All right, Paul. Everybody just keeps rolling in. From the prep zone to professional soccer.
Hi, Olivia.
UW.
Good to see
Olivia
you.
van der Yacht joins us now. Just talk about how much fun is this tonight for you here?
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I've seen a lot of my teammates go to this event, but I've never been myself, obviously. So it's a really cool experience to see all these athletes and all the nominations, and yeah, it's really special.
And I'll mention briefly, we chatted a moments ago with Megan Rapino. She'll be accepting the humanitarian award tonight. Obviously, you played with Megan. Just kind of what did she mean to your career?
Yeah, she was an amazing mentor. I had the ability to play with her last year and my rookie year, and she's someone that I've always looked up to. And so I feel like she really helped me through my rookie year. You know, it's a tough year transitioning from college to pro. You learn a lot, and she taught me some very valuable lessons. And yeah, she's just an amazing person all around.
Lessons on and off the field, I would imagine,
Oh,
and
yes.
taking care of your body and
Yep.
things like that. But
Yep.
was there something that stood out to you, one of maybe the biggest lesson you learned in that early part?
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest lessons that I learned from her was something on the field. Just like the power of connecting to your teammates and picking them up when something's going wrong. Like I remember something that she said was like, look at your teammates in the eye. Know that you care about them. You're there for them. If something goes wrong, like I got you. We're gonna get through this. You know, we're teammates, and I feel like that was very powerful because that happened to me my rookie year. I think I like made a mistake that led to a goal, and she like came over, she looked me in the eye, and she was like, "You're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna get this back." And I felt like very special in that moment, and like knew that we were there as a team. And so, yeah, it's something
That's hugely important for sure.
Laura Harvey up for Sports Leader of the Year. Why in your mind does Laura win tonight?
Oh man, I think Laura should win that because she is an amazing leader. She not only cares about you as an athlete, but also as a person. And I feel like that's something very rare in coaches, that she really does care about you as a person off the field, and she wants the best for you. And yeah, like last year I had to take a little bit of time off soccer, and she was like, we're going to be here for you no matter what. Like, we care about you first before you're an athlete on the field. So yeah, she's just an amazing person.
I think that's important, don't you? Don't you? Like, we talk about that in life in general, Olivia, that even off the field, even as you go through life when your career is over with, to be able to recognize someone younger, someone that's striving to get through their career, maybe it's not an athletic career, but it's just a career, it's important to kind of pass along those lessons, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like they're lessons that have such an impact on people that I feel like sometimes they don't even realize it, but it impacts us so much. And so, yeah, it's just really cool.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you here tonight. I know you're going to be in demand as you walk around here, so go enjoy it. And we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right.
Thanks, Olivia.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
great.
She's done quite well since her days at Kentridge, Paul. She's
Chris does all the prep zones.
yeah.
I told,
can take you all the way back
I
to
told
Kentridge,
our
the
bosses, I
Chargers.
said, years ago, I said, we should call it Chris Igin's Prep Zone, not just Prep Zone. This guy deserves a title. And so, anyway, it's cool that all these young women and young men come through, and you have talked to them at the high school level, then the college level, then the pro level. How does that make you feel?
You know, it's pretty cool because you see them at that young level, and you just kind of you think that they're going to do well, and you hope they're going to do well, and then all of a sudden they take off, and they definitely do well. Michael Penix has just arrived as well. Paul, Michael Penix is up for Male Athlete of the Year, along with Roma Dunze, Steph Fry, J.P. Crawford, and Maddie Beniers. And Paul, to make you feel old, the year I started at King 5 23 years ago, Michael Penix was born, and he's done pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
Michael,
I'm sure.
great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm glad to be here.
How much fun is this for you, kind of getting around? And I mean, it's like the Oscar night for you here tonight.
Man, it's been great, mainly because I'm back in Seattle. I've been out training in Cali, and I've been on the move, just getting ready for all the draft stuff. So it's been great. It's great to be back.
Yeah, we were wondering, actually, if you were going to be able to make it tonight. We know it's a big honor, and you have to be one of the favorites to win Male Sports Star of the Year, Michael. But take us through what it's been like since that Senior Bowl and all the working out you've been doing. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been busy. It's been busy, but it's been fun. I've been enjoying it all, and just falling in love with the process, and day in, day out, just putting in the work to, try to become a better person, a better player each and every day. So.
The past year, take me through it. You've had a little time to sit back and kind of relish it. How special was this year, the undefeated season, the win at the Sugar Bowl? Obviously, the national championship game didn't go your way, but just how special was this past year for you? And the Heisman, of course, as well, too.
I mean, it was very special, and to be able to do it with my brothers at UW, it was very special. Definitely the biggest reason why we came back. A lot of guys came back, for the 2023 season to leave our mark the way that we did, and to come back even better than we were the year before. And it was very fun to be able to do that, and we're all super blessed.
We've seen your leadership on the field, of course, but when you talk about running it back, as soon as Michael Penix said he's coming back, it felt like everybody else started falling in line, and that whole team ran it back. And that has to make you feel good because throughout your career, leadership's been very important for you.
Right, yeah, it definitely made me feel good, and just showing the guys, they believed in something, believed in something bigger than themselves. They believe that we'll be able to come back and, have a better year and continue to grow as a team and, as players individually, and everybody did that. I feel like everybody elevated. I believe we have about 13, maybe 14.
You're right, man.
13
Most
in the
ever.
combine.
Most ever.
Man, so, just a lot of guys, I feel like they all appreciate it all, so.
Paul mentions, Michael, that you'll be one of the favorites to win the award tonight, but let's be honest, there's another Husky up for the award. Roma Dunze, how special of an athlete is Rome, and he's going to have a bright future as well in the NFL.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. Obviously, our connection, it was electric, and the things that he was able to do these past 2 years with me and in this program, it's been amazing. And man, I'm his biggest fan. I'm super proud of him and everything that he's been through to get to where he's at today. So,
what can you tell us? I know I don't want to ask you too much about the draft or the combine, but Michael, going to the combine, how do you keep your emotions in check and will you participate in everything? Can you give us a little insight of what Michael Penix will be doing at the combine?
Yeah, just being myself. That's how I got here. I never tried to be anything other than myself. And just going out there and being confident and just having fun. That's what it's all about. So nerves might be up a little bit, but at the same time, it's still the game that I love, and I'm just gonna go out there and have fun with it and enjoy it all.
And Michael, I have to ask. Yesterday, actually, it was earlier today. I'm dating myself. Earlier today, Ryan Grubb was introduced as the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks. What are the Seattle Seahawks getting in Ryan Grubb?
Man, a great guy. First of all, before even a great coach, he's a great guy. He's a guy that's going to work extremely hard. I already know he's the guy that's going to be in there early mornings, make sure he's getting film in. He's going to get a workout in. He's going to be there late nights. And I don't feel like any coach out there puts in as much time as he does, into his craft and, the things that he does each and every day to be successful, and they're going to get a very great coach for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, high praise from a guy who no one knows it better than Michael Penix as far as Ryan Grubb's personality and what he brings to the table. So you've experienced it for the last 2 years. We're hoping to see you have a great NFL career. Looking forward to the combine, looking forward to the draft. Man, all that speculation out there, do you block it out?
Yeah, man. I don't worry about that.
Yeah, you almost have to, don't you?
Yeah, you can't focus on the things you can't control, So for me, I just go out there and just have fun and, be myself, and whatever happens, and I'm going to make the most of any opportunity that I get.
Wow, it's going to be fun to watch, man.
We had fun covering you for the last 2 years. Thank you, Michael.
It's been awesome.
Yes,
Thanks a lot. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
All right, good seeing you.
Michael Penix, I tell you what, Paul, good to see you, Michael. Have fun tonight. Good luck.
All right.
Incredible family, incredible man, incredible football player. And we go from Michael to
From a
the
current
MC
star
tonight,
to
Paul.
a legend.
The legend himself,
Look,
KJ
he's
Wright.
waiting for Penix because he wants to shake his hand.
Yeah,
that's
he's
respect.
He's that classy.
You know it.
He's that
That
classy.
is respect. Hi. So
KJ Wright, we're chatting with KJ Wright, but Michael Penix, what a career, Paul. 2 years at the UW. He put UW definitely back on the map. It was
for
fun
sure.
to see. And talking about putting something on the map. Paul, let's begin with this, Paul.
Here you go, Mr. Host.
We watched KJ Wright as a player. Are you surprised, Paul, how well he's got broadcast on TV, the pregame show, radio shows? Now he's the big MC tonight.
It's been a meteoric rise for this guy, Chris, because when we were in Munich, we pulled him aside. He was gracious enough to give us some time outside the hotel before that Seahawks game over in Germany. And we're like, at that point, I started talking to him, and I got done about 10 minutes with KJ. I said, holy cow, this guy's a natural.
He's lying.
And I've been saying that ever since.
He's lying.
And if you hear his podcast on a weekly basis, you know he's a natural.
Listen, Seahawks, they never put me on the podium. They never had me doing the main interviews. I was always the guy in the back.
Good point.
I got a lot of stuff I want to say.
That's the problem, man.
A lot of stuff I want to say.
That's a good point. They
You're a
did put you
wild
on the
card,
podium.
man.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going to come out of your mouth. You're a wild card. You're a podcast host now. It's like, oh, man.
I'm very volatile. I can't say that.
Hey, how are you feeling for tonight? You good? You nervous? You excited?
I'm excited. It's funny. I went to lunch with my wife before the show, and I said, babe, what did I sign myself up for? What was I thinking? What was I thinking hosting an awards show? But it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. You can see the excitement here in the room. You can feel the energy. People love sports. Yeah. It's quite simple. People love sports, and they love Washington sports. And just to highlight these men and women, the sports writers, it's going to be a phenomenal night.
Yeah, it's been great. I got to work with KJ during the preseason games of the Seahawks, and just sitting down next to him, listening to his insight, Chris, as you know, talking to a guy who played in the league as long as he did, he brings so much to the table. And when you do the podcast, and when you do Seahawks pregame shows, and you talk football all the time, how much do you enjoy just kind of giving your insight to the game?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, I love it, but I know what it's supposed to look like. I know what good ball is supposed to look like. I know what bad ball looks like. I know what good preparation look like. I know what a lack of preparation look like. I played the game at a very high level for 11 football seasons. And for me to share my knowledge with the fans, for me to share my passion with the fans, I'm glad that I did the podcast. I'm glad that I'm doing the radio, because it gives people the behind the scenes of stuff that they would never have thought of. Like, oh, that's the reason why he got beat on the play? It wasn't the player's fault. The coach called a ridiculous play call to put him in the play, in that position. And so I just love what I'm doing, and I'm just getting started.
Yeah, man, that authenticity is great, because, I mean, honestly, you could be up there and be a yes man and say, oh, yeah, they'll be okay. But when they hear it from KJ Wright that, no, this is the way it went down, it just makes it more important.
My first advice that I ever got when I stepped into this business was from Brock Hewart. We all know Brock Hewart. And Brock said, KJ, have an opinion. And I said, okay, and I just took that thing and I ran. I took that thing and I ran with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an opinion. If you're like dancing around trying to please everyone, you'll please nobody. Yeah. You'll please absolutely nobody in this business. But when you're direct, you're clear, you're authentic, you just put it out there on the plate and just take it how you want to take it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, man, it's
it.
great advice for anybody in any career. Just be authentic.
Yeah.
And that's why guys with the most success, Pete Carroll talked about it a lot. He prided himself on his authenticity. And so someone like you does the same.
Yeah. And so with Coach Carroll, he's going to be back. He's going to be back. Some way, somehow, he's going to get back into coaching. I know he is.
Really?
People talking about be a motivational speaker, be an advisor. He's a ball coach. Yeah. He's still a ball coach. I know he has a lot left in his tank. I am excited to see this new regime that they have here in Seattle with McDonald. He's clear. He's direct. His energy is real. You see his energy that he has. I'm excited to see this new culture start to shift over the next few years. I know that John Snyder is still building this football team, so it's going to be exciting to see what they do with the coaching staff, what they do with the players. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing your take all season long, too, so we appreciate you coming on.
We better get him ready. He's got to go get ready.
I know, man. He's the host of the show tonight, so yeah.
He's got to get some water.
Get out of here, man.
Have fun tonight. Go get him tonight, KJ.
Appreciate it. All right,
KJ
man.
Wright, the big host tonight, Paul, of the 89th annual. I tell you, we go, Paul, from one legend to another legend. I mean, the legends just keep sitting down next to you, Paul. I mean, we go.
USL soccer coach Brian Schmetzer joins us now. That's how far we go back. That's how far we go back.
We sell one of those kick rebound things.
Yeah,
yes.
Maybe one.
I got one in my backyard still.
Listen,
got you to buy one.
I say. All right, I say that
from
because
the Tacoma Stars. Didn't you spend 1 year with Tacoma?
Yeah, a couple years actually.
A couple years.
Okay. Chris and I have been here for ancient, decades, and Brian Schmetzer, I always pride myself. I love the fact that we got to cover you as a USL coach of that USL Sounders team. You guys had so much success. Everybody knew you were going to be a great coach at the next level, and you've proven that, Brian. I know you're humble, but let's just call it what it is. Let's start it out with a softball. 50th anniversary of Sounders. You have played for this organization, coached in this organization. What's it like for you?
Almost 50 years, because I started in 80.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time. It's a long time ago. So, look, it's great. I mean, it's great to be part of the history of soccer in this city. It's got a rich history. I mean, 74 Memorial Stadium. We move into the Kingdom, down at Starfire, back to Lumen. Now, you never know what's going to happen after that with the new facility. That was a little hint, but you never know what's going to happen, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
This new facility, I was there with you on the grand opening day.
Yes, yeah.
You've had a few days now there. How special is this place?
It's getting better because I can find my way around. it's so big and expansive that you got to kind of figure out where you're supposed to be.
They even got a barber chair there, Paul.
I saw that. I think it was Brad Evans getting a haircut or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Christian has cut a lot of people's hair, not mine.
Well, I can tell because you have style to yours. It's really nice.
Christian does a good job. But it's a younger style.
That's true.
It's a younger style.
I do have to ask you, because I see over your shoulder Pete Fewing, a good friend of yours. Pete Fewing, Paul, is up for sports leader of the night against Cammie Etheridge, Laura Harvey, great coach, Dave Hackstall, Heather Tarr. Pete Fewing, though, he's done a lot for soccer in this area, hasn't he?
He has done a heck of a lot for soccer in this area. Successful coach, but more importantly, a successful human being.
Yeah.
I mean, the things he taught, he preached, the things he did to make young men better human beings. That's what I always appreciated about Pete. So good for him for being recognized here tonight.
This area is very lucky to have him coaching back in the day, have you currently coaching. Let's talk about one of your former coaches, Alan Hinton, who's kind of the grandfather of this Sounders organization. And what was it like playing for Alan Hinton?
It was an adventure. Look, back in the day, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just kicking the ball around. I was 17, 18, 19 years old. But I do know this. Alan took care of me. He took care of me on a couple of different stops in my career, and I owe him a lot.
Yeah, well,
he took care of me in some pregame shows as well, too. You're like, no, that's not what you say, Chris.
But I think it's great. Like you saying back then, you started as a teenager, and you see the young players coming through your organization, Brian. How important is it for you to help cultivate things with those young guys and bring them along?
There's a lot of things that I learned from Alan, from Jimmy Gabriel, another one of my mentors, some other coaches along the way, but certainly the way Al managed people, I try and emulate some of those things. And, you asked me the question, maybe I didn't answer it correctly, coaching with Al. I mean, it was pretty adventurous. And I remember down at Renton Stadium by the Boeing jet airplanes down there, and Alan would start yelling at us, and then all of a sudden the jet engine would come, and we're like going, whew, we're off the hook, or somebody would kick a ball over the field, but we couldn't go over there and grab him because it was out of bounds. So a lot of adventures with Al, and he was a great man and a great way to start my career.
We look around this room, and there's stars, there's success everywhere, but when you think about Seattle over the past decade, Paul, nobody's had more success than the Seattle Sounders. Brian, you guys spent a few weeks in Spain. The home opener is coming up very quickly here. Just kind of give us your take on the season ahead for you guys.
The trip to Spain was good. Last year we went prior to our Club World Cup experience. We loved it so much we went back. It's a great way for the guys to bond together. The fields are great. We played against 3 different European teams. We don't want to just go down to Tucson, Arizona and play the Timbers. That's gotten old and stale. So going to Europe is something different. The guys get excited. The training was good. The weather was nice. The food was good. Food was good too.
Yeah.
And we had a great time, and we're looking forward to the 24th when we start.
Man,
coming up.
Your off seasons in the MLS are just like that now, huh?
I think we have the longest season in pro sports.
I believe it. Oh, yeah, in the States for sure.
We started January 15th. We're going to go all the way to December 9th, 10th, or 11th when MLS Cup comes around. That's a long season.
Yeah, well, listen, congratulations on all your success, Brian. We've always loved covering you over the years. You've always been gracious with the media, and so we thank you for that as well.
Well, thank you two guys. You guys are pros, and Alan is a pro.
Here it is.
You love that.
Alan, you got a question for Brian.
Come on, you can come on camera if you want. All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, man.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Good luck this season. All
Brian
right.
Spencer and the Sounders, Paul, ready to kick off another season. Like you said, he doesn't have much of an off season. It just turns around and goes.
There was a time when it was a Premier League in European soccer, they only had 6 weeks, and it was
from
nothing.
one soccer legend to another, Paul. I mean, from one to another now.
Yeah, I can't even wax on about soccer. I got to bring this guy in who knows a heck of a lot more of it than I do. Brad Evans, hey, first of all, I just saw you recently. Yes, I would. Most recently, I saw you sitting in a barber chair at the new facility. So let's start right there.
Look at the French haircut. I mean, he looks good.
This place is crazy.
What's it like?
I got picked up in 2018 by Kansas City. And I didn't know that Kansas City had just finished building a brand new world-class facility for the national team. And I got there, and they had a barber shop. They had cryotherapy. They had, all the fixings of a fantastic facility. And then when the Sounders started rumbling about it, they're asking, well, what did other clubs have? And so you're kind of giving them bits and pieces, and lo and behold, the Sounders blew it out of the water. I mean, you guys got a tour.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But I think the difference is it's not sterile in any way. It's an homage to, the 50 years. And it really, the barbershop alone, has a local artist that did all the art. You see the wall of art that's everywhere, and just it really speaks to who Seattle is and who the Sounders are, and trying to carry on that rich tradition.
And we heard a lot from the players on that grand opening. This is motivation. We
Yeah.
have no excuses now.
Exactly.
How does that facility make this team even better?
Well, that's what I said. As soon as you walk in, it's no excuses anymore, because you could use Starfire as a crutch. When I came in 2009, Starfire was great. The problem is that actually we trained at VMAC to start that year, and we were all blown away by VMAC, obviously a world-class facility in and of itself. And then Starfire just slowly, bigger teams start to come into the league, start to spend some money, and then Starfire just slowly find your way down the bench.
Yeah.
And so what was great in 2009, it's just the evolution of sports, and just to see where this new facility is and what it can provide. I think honestly, if you ask Schmetz, if you ask the GMs, I think we've probably lost a couple players over the past 5-10 years that have gone to Starfire, or their agents have, and said, hey, this isn't good enough for my player.
Yeah.
And now, again, there's no excuse, because we have this world-class facility where the agents can come and check it out, and then the players will come and be like, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about the evolution, Brad. Let's throw this out there. We're seeing teams across the country in MLS get their own soccer-specific stadiums. Is that something that's out there for the Sounders, and how much, as a former player, would you love to see that?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. There's something nostalgic for me, though, about playing in that stadium downtown. And I don't want to lose that with a stadium that's outside of downtown. When I went to Nashville, biggest soccer-specific stadium in the country, and I thought it was closer to downtown, but you're still driving 20, 25 minutes to get to this stadium, and it just doesn't have that same feel. I mean, it's amazing, it's beautiful, but if we can just stay in the same place and make that place rocking and just build the game, build the sport, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Seahawks decide to build a massive facility down, by a racetrack somewhere a little bit further south, like Foxborough or something like that, outside the city, and really make it this grand thing where you can tailgate and you can get the whole job done. So for us, I think we stay. Maybe it changes the valuation of the team, so the owners are thinking a little bit differently. But for me, I love playing in that stadium, and I love being able to go downtown. There's something about being downtown that I just love.
Well, you know what? You bring that up. Of all the teams in Major League Soccer, Chris, this team can easily handle playing in Lumen Field. It's not cavernous at all, because there's always 40,000 fans there. You'd have to build a soccer-specific stadium with 40 or 50 seats, 1,000 seats.
It'd be the biggest soccer-specific stadium for sure, just because of the potential. And there's so many games where the Sounders have gone and sold out the stadium, right? You don't want to do that in a soccer-specific stadium. You don't want to limit yourself. So I say keep it until the right opportunity comes. If it is downtown, do it. But Atlanta United is drawing 40, 45,000 every game on average, and then they'll get the occasional 70, 75, and they're in a soccer and football stadium. So I just like the pure numbers versus filling out a stadium that's 20,000, and you might get 17, you might get 18. I've done that before. I've been in those stadiums. It's not the same as having 30, 35,000 at Lumen Field.
Great message out there to the fans.
Brad, Paul's been here 30 years. I've been here 25 years. We've seen a lot through the years. We've covered a lot. We've never covered a World Cup.
Yeah.
We will get that opportunity soon. How big is this for people that have not been involved with the World Cup? How big is this going to be?
I mean, it's insane. The amount of people that will be brought into this city and showcase Seattle is unlike anything anyone's seen before. I mean, you might liken it to a Super Bowl weekend, but you're going to have, 5 games here, and that all will be on that scale. Wow. And that just shows the commitment from the game worldwide, right? And hopefully we draw, big teams, and that's really going to highlight this city as well. And it's good for the economy also. You bring in, they want to spend money, they want to party, they want to get down, they want to experience what the city has. I know Peter Tomazawa and his crew are doing the best job that they can to really highlight every tangible thing that you could see in this city. 1994 was my first experience, and they didn't host it in Arizona. So my uncle went to a game in San Francisco, and I still remember him just going to that game, and I was 9 years old. I wasn't a part of it. I didn't watch it on TV, but I remember him going to that game, and that, just even that conversation being had about how big it was. And so I just think on that scale, it is unlike anything anyone's seen before. Yeah. And to get that many games here, I was actually surprised. But really, really excited, and hopefully I can attend every single match. Like that would be the dream. I've never been to a World Cup match. I got cut. I was one of the last cuts in 2014, and have never gotten to go to a match. So this will be my first time going to a World Cup. I'll be just 40 years old.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, a guy with all your experience, you're finally going to get to see one. But that tells you just how much it means to soccer in general and all those fans, and even the former players like Brad Evans. Man, we appreciate you coming on. I know you got to run, so thank you.
All good.
All right,
thank you,
Brad.
Brad.
Great. Nice
Good
job
luck on
too.
your pickleball game, Brad. One of the greats, Brad Evans. Always love chatting with Brad. Obviously,
Oh man, Dennis Erickson.
we got the legend coming in now.
Holy cow!
Oh, man. We're going to have to dip back to some high school coverage now, Paul.
That's right.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Man, it's great to see you. I did not know you were going to be here tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm getting inducted or was inducted
that's awesome.
tonight. So yeah, I live in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, so I flew over this morning and heading back. If I can get back, I think it's snowing like a son of a gun in Spokane right now.
Well, that's the thing, is like they invite all these people, they honor all of these great people, but we're never sure if they're actually going to make it on the night of the show. So it's great to see you here, Dennis, and tell us what you've been up to.
Well, like I said, I'm living in Coeur d'Alene. I'm retired, but I do some advising. I go to different places, and talk to coaches. And then my son coaches at the University of Montana, and I graduated from Montana State, so I go over and watch the Cougs and the Vandals occasionally. So keep myself busy. The great thing about it is I can second guess somebody, and that never happened before.
Coach,
seems like it was always on the other side.
That's right.
You mentioned living in Idaho now, but this is home for you. This is where you grew up playing football as a high school kid. This is where you coached high school ball. How much does this area mean to you? And take me back to those great days of you.
Well, I mean, it's what it's all about. My dad, of course, was a high school coach at Everett High School. Then he went to Cascade while I played at Everett. And then when I went to Montana State to play, he got hired at the University of Montana.
Rewind me back to Cascade and Everett. Could you guys even talk on a game night?
No, I didn't want to talk to him. What the heck? The one that suffered was my mom. You know what? She always rooted for me, not him, I can tell you that.
I bet she did.
And like I said, it was funny. We had that for 3 years, and then so I go to Montana State and play, and all of a sudden my dad's coaching for Swarthout, so we play him again. And you know what? He didn't win many of them.
When you look at the big picture, Dennis, and the way college football is now, I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but as a former coach, with all the success you had, you look back at, if you had to go back and coach at this level right now, how much has that changed?
Oh, it's changed. I mean, it's all about money. I mean, it always has been sort of, but now you're paying the players, and the transfer portal and all those things that are happening are just ridiculous. And to me, we're losing what it's all about. The reason we played was to be disciplined and do all those things. Now if a guy gets upset, he can pick it up and go transfer someplace. That's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. And if you're not playing, go ahead and transfer wherever the heck you want. But I mean, there's high school kids that are making $2 million a year to sign. I mean, come on. What the heck?
I love that old school approach, because a coach like you with all the experience you have, Dennis, it has to blow you away of how that game has evolved at all levels.
Oh, without a question. And it's, the coaches are good in college, and they do a good job, and it's all about money. It's amazing how much the coaches get paid.
Right.
Mario Cristobal played for me at Miami.
Sure.
I don't know what I made. I didn't even make $500,000. He's making $9 million a year. It's a little different world.
Yeah, for sure.
But the biggest thing is that the coaching and teaching those guys what it's all about. So it's easy to quit now. You can go someplace else, right?
Yeah, I know. It's got to be tough on coaches for sure. And listen, we always appreciated watching you over the years and the success you had, and people remember you for that success as well. So, Dennis Erickson, we appreciate you coming by tonight, and always great to see you, man. I was surprised. I had a surprised look on my face.
Great to see you, Coach.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay. Man.
Oh, one of the legends.
Dude, I did not know he was going to show up tonight. I'm just
that was pretty cool.
Getting those guys in. I mean,
all right.
So much history.
Well, we have somebody that's up for an award tonight, Sportswoman of the Year. How excited are you about this tonight?
Very excited, yeah.
This is a big night for the Reign tonight.
It is, and I've been to this event a couple years now, and it's honestly so amazing to see the community come together and support each other. So I'm really excited.
I was going to say, obviously you're up for an award, but I want to talk about Coach because she's up for an award as well. Why in your mind should she win the award tonight?
Gosh, I wish everyone could truly get to know Laura the way I do. I think anyone that's played for her or been around her, she's contagious in what she does. She loves what she does. She's passionate. But I think the most important thing is that she always treats us like humans first, and I think there's something really special about that in sport.
You know, Megan Rapino was on with us earlier talking about going back to just the Reign and things that are changing within the organization. She really liked it and appreciated it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here since 2013, so to see us go back to, our roots and where it all started, there's something very special about that, and something we're really proud of. We built our foundation off that for so long, so being able to go back to that and share that with the community that we kind of grown with is really important for us.
You know, the NWSL seems to get deeper and deeper as far as talent goes.
Mm-hmm.
How much pride does that give you just to see every year it's getting tougher and tougher for these women to make these teams?
Yeah, I mean, we want healthy competition. That's something that, of elite athletes is what we strive for, and that's what we want to be a part of. But I think it's truly a testament to the development now and where our resources are going and the money's going to see these young kids being able to come in and make an impact as fast as they are. For us older players too and seniors in leadership, I think it's a dream come true. It's kind of what we want to leave, and and you see it coming through, so it's really special.
You're coming off a stellar year, and the Sounders obviously over the past decade have had a lot of success, but now it just seems like every year the Reign step on that pitch.
Yeah.
It's success. What has been a key in your mind with the Reign success over the past few years?
Gosh, I think big piece of that is Laura and the coaching staff. She really does. She's able to recruit well and puts together a team that's really well-rounded in terms of talent and person. And I think that's why our chemistry always on the field, regardless of how the season's going, we always end strong. And I think a big part of that is what we've created here, our environment. I think everyone else around us talks about the Reign's atmosphere and what we've got going on in the locker room, and I think everyone wants to be a part of that. So I think that really does lead to success.
Yeah. You talk about the fan base for the Reign and the fan base for the Storm. It seems like the Seattle area really, of all the sports cities, really supports women's sports.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about that today as I was coming here, that I've been so honored and lucky enough to be part of a community that does support women so much. I've been here since 2013, and they're passionate, they're supportive, and for us in women's in sports, that's exactly what we need. We need to be uplifted, supported, highlighted, and Seattle does that.
Yeah, it's great listening to you because you have such a great message and a great spokesperson for the sport and for women's sports as well. So have fun tonight, enjoy it. We have enjoyed it so far. It's been great talking to you.
And, good luck tonight to you. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Of course.
All right, we could have put a soccer team together here
I think
over
we
the last
did.
5 minutes, Paul.
This was a soccer show.
From Barnes to Evans to, we had the who's who of the soccer world here tonight.
Chris, I never get to say this, but take us out.
Take us out. Well, I do want to mention, Paul, because I feel like I've teased it. Sports leader of the night, Cammie Etheridge, Pete Fewing, Laura Harvey, Dave Haxtell, Heather Tarr. They're up for the award tonight. Male Athlete of the Year, Maddie Beniers, J.P. Crawford, Steph Fry, Roma Dunze, Michael Penix. Sportswoman of the Year, we got Vanessa Anatinier from SPU Track, Laura Barnes, Charlize Ledger-Walker, Jewel Lloyd, and Angela Zhang. And then Story of the Year, Paul, Kraken, Thunderbirds, UW football, UW track and field, their championship run, and the Wazoo women's basketball team taking home a Pac-12 title. So there you go. Those are the ones all up for the big award.
Taking us through was great because that's what we're going to see tonight on this show, and you can see this show in its entirety March 9th on King 5. So we appreciate everybody stopping by. Definitely always great work with Chris.
Well, and here's the cool thing, Paul. I get to sit back and enjoy. You got to keep working. Paul will be on Conch tonight, 9:45, 10:45, and King 5 at 11:25 with all
and
the
Chris
ladies.
will have you completely covered here at the Westin. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later on tonight.